to the after party. Welcome to the after party. Did you bring some snacks and treats?
Yes, it did.
I hope you got me something to eat.
Maybe.
Welcome to the after party. Coming to the after party.
Right now.
I've been waiting here all day to act like a fool this way. Welcome to the after party. Join us in the after party.
Right now.
Oh, chocolate and dabbing, maybe some microphone dabbing at the after party.
With DJ Eric, Page.
We're never going to update that. People love it that it gets cut off. It's so funny.
No, that's a bit of mystery.
Yeah, it does. DJ Eric and then I guess when we go live, if there's a third or fourth person or whatever, they're here. So it's not really like.
If neither of us are here.
You know what would be really funny? I'm going to say this with the chat listening. Is if we did that one week and there was no one here, like we just started it up and it came on, it was just the wallpaper.
It's just like a repeatable video of something happening. Not going to say what, that's for the imagination to run along with, but
so we're gonna have to do it where we should record this and then have it loop, like something at the beginning to loop, and then it'll start, and then this will come on, and then it'll just do this for like an hour and 45 minutes.
We'll do it, but no sound. So everyone just thinks the muted stream. We'll go for an hour, and everyone just thinks we talked for an hour with the stream muted.
We'll tell them to turn subtitles on. Put on subtitles. Like who doesn't use subtitles? It's 2021. Anyway, hello everyone. The reason why we were
then every 3 minutes or something, you'll just have to hold up a thing saying refresh the stream.
Well, yeah, that would be hilarious. Ben is supposed to be here, but I don't know where he's at. So there we go. The reason why we started late is I have had construction going on outside of my house since like 10 o'clock this morning. And I sleep at night. Like I sleep during the day because I work at night. So it's like I literally was being, woken up over and over and over again during the day. And then finally I was supposed to work on like 3 different things today. None of that got done because it was so loud. And they finally stopped. Construction about 4 minutes before we got started with the after party. So
RIP the
there we
dream.
go. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, so I have to reschedule a bunch of stuff, and yeah. But here's the thing: if you are a Team Eric member, you can go watch the first episode of Content Creator Binge Battle. It's available right now. It's gonna be up for those will all be a week early access. So if you are a Team Eric member, after you're done with this, go over and check that out. My first guest is Chainsaw Reacts. He's the kickoff into that new series, and it's in the community tab if you need to know where to find it. All you have to do is become a Team Eric member and go check it out. And then it'll be available next Friday at 1 p.m. New York time for everyone else. So you will get to see it soon. But yeah, it's early access right now. So there we go. November thing coming out before November. It's unheard of, I guess. I don't know. I'm surprised there's so many comments on my white beard. Hasn't it been like this for like a week now? I mean, I colored it like a week ago, I think. So I feel like
I don't even take notice of. I just imagine it as what is it, Joseph with the Technicolor Dreamcoat?
Yeah, that's it.
So Joseph as Joseph's beard, the Technicolor beard, just keeps changing.
So let's see, Robert. I watched it and much enjoyed it. I got to say, I have to apologize for our comment on your videos. I comment and then like I would hear live chat. That's okay. You can leave as many comments as you want. I don't mind. Comments are great. I go through and I read them in order. Like they show up in order in my
I am nobody's elf. So. I am nobody's elf.
Wait, did somebody call you an elf?
Malik. I am nobody's elf.
Wow.
I'm too tall to be an elf.
Pagey the elf.
Actually, it might be Buddy the elf. He's a tall.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
I take Buddy, actually.
Yeah.
He's pretty funny.
Canada Grass, where have you been? The after party has been moved to Fridays for the 4.0 series. I thought that you were here when we talked about that. You're missing the red cap for the microphone.
That's the Marga edition. Those come out that comes out in November.
It'll be available in the shop in my Teespring. I've had that forever. I think I had that all the way back when I was streaming in the other side of the house. And my studio was in the garage. It's been a while. It's been around for a while. All right, so we've got news. I was going to save the Supergirl stuff for Ben, but he's not here. We have some like quick Supergirl news to talk about. The actual first episode synopsis for Armageddon came out, so we're going to talk about that. And then we'll just generally talk about the shows this week. I have not, it's funny. Everybody keeps asking me to comment on Legends. I haven't seen it yet. I still haven't watched the 100th episode. Did you watch it yet?
I watched it, but I don't know. Everyone was saying love. I really didn't like. It's not a spoiler. I didn't really like the fact that it focused so much on Astra. And
you can spoil it. I don't care about spoilers.
And Spooner. Spooner. I was like, why are they? Because Gideon was the main character,
right,
in the episode, and then the supporting characters, with the most screen time, I think, were Astra and Spooner. And I think I would have preferred a different 100th episode.
Okay.
And I wonder whether they didn't want anything.
Why do you think they focused so much on the newest characters? Because
I don't know. That was the thing that just took me off it. That was like, I thought it was still a fun episode, and I think it like had some fun Legends moments. But at the same time, I was like, I think it could have been. I think it could have been different, and it would have been better. And also, I think it was a very easy episode for them to do because it was all on the Wave Rider.
Right, so it was inexpensive. It was one of the cheaper episodes.
Yeah, it was probably extremely cheap, and and also you get the actors who are new and probably are on the lowest amount of money,
right,
to have the most screen time, and that gives the others a break. Because I think I think Nate was in like 2 scenes. I think he was hardly in anything. Like Nate was in. I think it was Nate. It was Nate had the least, I think, in regards to a current Legend, and then I think Sarah might have been the second least.
Weird.
But then again, she was directing the episode.
The other thing is, why would you have one of your leads from like the first episode of the series direct the 100th episode? Is that normal?
I'm not too sure why they did that, to be completely honest. Well, it was odd because it was announced a while ago. It was announced a while ago she was directing the 100th episode, and everyone thought it was odd back then. And I think it's still odd now that they chose that. It's like getting Grant to direct the Flash's like a milestone episode or something like that, or Melissa to do Supergirl's milestone episode or something like that. It's like it's like series finale of Supergirl. Melissa want to direct it?
Yeah.
One of them more.
So speaking of that, I put a funny tweet out. I was kind of being sarcastic because there was that fake tweet about Superman showing up in the finale for Supergirl, and it was like a lot of outlets were pushing it, and then it got debunked pretty quickly, like within the same day or something. But then I put out a tweet about Supergirl being in her finale, and it was like one of the biggest tweets I've ever done. I think it was like so many people commented on it. I'm gonna go now and check it out because I was kind of shocked, and how many people were like into that tweet. It was just to be silly. I mean, I honestly didn't think it would blow up. But it did.
It's Twitter, Eric. Stupidity trends.
I mean, I guess. Yeah, 925 likes and 121 retweets. I think that's a record for me. Honestly, I don't.
Well, outside of your Marga tweets.
Yeah, outside of those, absolutely.
Outside of the Marga tweets.
I'm interested in seeing Legends 100. I was actually going to do a watch along, but then I ran into the same trouble that we ran in with the other episode. Is that the only place for me to watch it is on the CW app, and there's commercials on the CW app. So it's hard to do a watch along because not everybody is going to get the same commercials. Also, people in other parts of the world are not going to be able to watch it without a VPN. So I'll probably do a reaction to it. I'll watch it and react to it because, again, I haven't seen it. A couple things have been spoiled to me, but I don't really care too much. So, yeah, that's where we go with that. Let's talk a little bit about Supergirl. We got some news for Supergirl, and this is kind of interesting. I don't know exactly how to take this, but Jenna Dewan, who played Lucy from season 1, is coming back onto Superman and Lois as this character. And we hadn't seen her since season 1 of of Supergirl. So this is because they've done a lot of recasting. Like most of the characters that we knew that we'd seen before, we assumed they were just going to recast them, but they're not doing that. They're bringing her back. What are your thoughts on this? I mean, I know it's probably not a big story, but does it mean anything for long term, like for the show? Are we going to see more characters come back from older seasons on Superman and Lois?
I can tell you that they were trying to get it back last season.
For the first season.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted it back last season. I don't know if it was going to be Jenna Doohan or something else, but COVID was a thing, so they couldn't bring her in. So they're pretty much just making up for, I guess, lost time and what they planned to do initially anyway.
You know what's wild about this to me is she really lucked out because, oh, look, there's a picture of me with the glasses.
Yeah, this is Earth R.
She really lucked out because she wasn't included in Supergirl when the move happened, but now she's going to be put on Superman and Lois, which I think has some pretty good legs on it for like a series.
You know what I think might be a helping factor for her just showing up for an episode or two?
What's that? One
of her best friends is in the show.
Oh, who is that?
Emmanuel Chiricri, who plays Lana.
Oh, okay. It says here that she'll reprise her role as Lucy Lane in the upcoming second season of Superman and Lois. The actress who will be credited as recurring player. Recurring. So that's the thing is recurring could mean anything from like 5 episodes to like 9 episodes. Like we don't.
It could be 2. It could be 2 episodes.
So she's going to be recurring, and she's
like, for example,
character.
Bart and Nora were counted as recurring in season 7. They're in 2 episodes. Well,
right.
Technically 2 in like one end scene, but I think they're only credited properly in 2 episodes. So and that counted as recurring.
I'm curious in the chat, how many people watched Supergirl season 1 and did you like her character? Because they mentioned in the article that both her and Maxwell Lord were the characters that just were kind of erased from the world when season 2 started. So it's kind of interesting. I wonder if they're going to even cover where she's been, like what she's been doing, since season 1. I don't know.
I'm curious whether they change her character up a bit and make her more in line with the tone and stuff of Superman and Lois.
Yeah.
But yeah, because from what I know, in season 1, if they worked her into the show properly, it was just going to be revolved around that stuff that happened with General Lane and Lois and that stuff there. But I think it might have been a better move that she wasn't in that, because now I think Lois and General Lane are on better terms. So it's not drama. It's not it's not like just and picking sides and everything like that, which would have been a bit shit.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think that would have been good.
Right.
But yeah.
It's interesting news. A few people in the chat say they liked her. So we'll see here. Gary, the 1-9 super chat. Is the Flash getting delayed later than November? Well, it is almost November. So I would assume no, because
we know it's getting delayed later than November 15th.
Right. That's true. Victor D. Chinchilla with the $2 super chat. Could she be taken over after Lois' father? So after her father's position, and because he's basically resigned or retired, do you think they would do that? Do you think they would make her in charge of that division or something?
No, because that guy that came in, the other guy that got cast is now what General Lane was.
Yeah.
Whatever his name is, the other guy that was from Teen Wolf with Tyler Hoechlin. I can't remember what the actor's name is. Someone in the chat probably knows.
Canada goes, I'm led to believe by a discussion I had with someone today after the news came out that there would be more than 2 because she was offered a couple weeks ago. She was offered it a couple weeks ago, and he says, right, waiting to find out if she wanted to take it because of the amount of time she would have to spend up there. Oh, so she was trying to decide if she wanted, because that's a pretty big decision if you're an actor anywhere else and you're committed to a season of shows on the CW, then you're probably going to be living in Vancouver for at least a few months a year. So there we go.
I don't think she minds being away from home, because in an article it says she was literally in Australia filming a show.
Oh, really?
For months. So she obviously doesn't mind being away from home, wherever that might be. I guess LA.
I think it's a good time to probably talk about this episode of Supergirl. Did you watch it?
No.
Everybody in the chat, if you saw my review, it came out yesterday. I'll be honest with you, Paigey. This show is probably in a space where I think it's almost unwatchable at this point. It's very, very, very hard to get through an episode.
So I won't actually bring up the reference. I'll avoid any controversy.
Okay. I said in my review that I feel the same way about Supergirl right now as I felt about Legends like midway through last season, where I don't want to watch it, but there's only 2 episodes left.
Well, hold on. Would you rather rewatch Inhumans or continue this season of Supergirl? I'm concerned you actually have to think about it.
They're both equally bad, in my opinion. I don't even know how I'd have to flip a coin. I mean, I honestly feel like it's that bad. Everything on Supergirl right now, with the exception of a couple of characters, is underwhelming to me. The writing is underwhelming. I mean, the special effects are better this season, but they're not doing very much, I guess. It's just one of those things where it's the final season and they gave them a ton of episodes.
Yeah, it shouldn't have. They should have given them, considering they knew it was going to be premiering late because of what was happening with Melissa. They should have just given it 13.
Yeah,
they should have just given it 13. Like I remember when the 20 episode came out, and I think even Supergirl's biggest fans were like, 20? Do we need 20? Like, how are they going to do 20 with Melissa gone because they knew that she wasn't going to come back by a certain date?
Mm-hmm.
Why do 20? And like, I don't know. And the thing with Supergirl is that the supporting characters work with Supergirl, and it's like that team dynamic.
Yeah,
I don't know if they work outside on their own. I think they work like they're back and forth and everything like that, and they relied on like all these separate storylines that just felt really disconnected. And obviously, I've been watching obviously the past few weeks. I'd assume they're going to try and merge them all come the end of the season. If maybe
you mean all the different storylines and everything?
Maybe, or try and get some sort of like common event which relates to them all. But from what I was watching, everything just felt like it was splitting off into its own sort of thing. Well, Arrow got 10 episodes, and really only 8 of them were the proper. Well, not even 8. I would say 7.
7. Yeah.
One was Crisis, one was Green and the Canaries, and one was the finale where Oliver's already dead.
Yeah.
So it's really 7 episodes that Arrow has.
I feel like Arrow ends at episode 7. Honestly,
no, I think it ends in Crisis.
Well, but the season of
no, I think the season even ends in Crisis.
I think
so? That's the end.
So you're
Arrow.
just saying you don't count like the setup for the spinoff and that final episode of Arrow?
No, basically? I think the finale. I even said it when I watched the Arrow's finale. I'd emotionally checked out because I watched the finale and I felt nothing, which was super weird. Because I'll rewatch other finales for shows I loved, and Arrow is a show I love, and I'll be like, oh, like the finale will hit you. But Arrow's finale didn't hit me at all, and that's because I'd emotionally checked out at Crisis, because that was actually the end of his story, while Green and the Canaries was just an attempt to spin something off, and the finale just felt like something. I don't even know what you would even call it. And that's not saying it was bad. It was just, I think Crisis was the finale. Crisis should have been the finale.
Right.
I think, you know what? I wonder if they had no intention to do Green and Canaries, whether Crisis would have been the finale.
Just wrap it up there.
Wrap it up there, because that's a perfect ending, in my opinion, for Oliver's story.
Yeah. I think they might have had
like
one more episode where everyone said goodbye to him, probably. But that I don't know if they, I don't know. Gary, never mad at you, always proud of you. Thank you so much for your super chat. Let's see. We had another one here. Mike Glenn, why does Gary always think you're mad at him? I don't know. What, Gary, do you want to answer that one?
From what I know, it used to be because of the MAGA microphone cover.
Oh, okay.
But now you've gone to the Democrat blue.
Yeah.
Now,
the
only issue is that
purple.
Your Joe Biden cosplay wasn't ready in time. So, trust me, I saw a sneak peek at it. I think it might have got the stream demonetized.
Maybe.
So
we definitely got Ben's stream demonetized. 100%.
Well, because it wasn't just Joe Biden; it was kinky Joe Biden. That's the issue that Eric was facing.
There we go. Gary with the 499 super chat. Do you think the Flash will get a season 9 and Batwoman Legend of Stargirl and Superman? Paige, you mad at me, guys are the best. Wow, that's a lot. Thank you for the 499, Gary. I absolutely think the Flash will get a season 9. They would have announced this as the final season if it wasn't. Yeah. That show's too big for them to be like last minute. Oh, it's the final season. They wouldn't do that.
Well, it's not even that. It's just that like they know. Like it would have leaked from set if this was the final season, and also like even with Arrow and I think even Supergirl and stuff, like they have like the little final season thing sort of like attached to like the clapperboard and all that type of stuff usually.
Mm-hmm.
So and that has had nothing put there. So, yeah, but I'm not mad, Gary, because I had my best weekend on FIFA Ultimate Team Weekend League for Champions.
There we go.
And I will, you know what, for a special treat, for the after party.
Mm-hmm. Is this the game?
This is my team that I've been rocking. So this is Moa FC. They mowed through the competition. I did lose 8 games. However, if you know who Kylian Mbappe is and Neymar, they fiddled with my buttocks, so it wasn't good. However, we can go through the team. In goals, Courtois, monster. Okay, actually, we won't. Look, go. Just Paul Pogba, finesse shots.
How many packs did you pull to get these characters? Like, you probably spent a lot.
Characters, Eric. Yeah. They're non-fictional.
I know that, but they're characters in the game.
But yeah, so 12 and 8, and on the sub bench we have an Eric lookalike.
Oh yeah, okay.
Sadio Mane. That's the Eric lookalike for the thing. And also we do have this guy actually sort of looks like Ben, but he's a little Mexican. Bit. So
it actually looks more like Patty Jenkins, I think.
Yeah, maybe. And Melissa Benoist? I don't know. Anyway, I don't know either. So that's the ultimate team.
Okay, there we go. Gary, as far as the other shows, I think all of them are okay, unless because they're too new right now, except for Legends. But Legends just seems to keep trucking on. Seems like 499 super chat from Jordan Arnis, who's also a Team Eric member. Thank you so much. I know this is off topic. What's with these articles I'm reading saying No Way Home is Tom's last Spider-Man movie for clickbait? That's what it is.
And tension.
It's clickbait. As long as Spider-Man is the most profitable Marvel character, they're going to continue to put him in stuff because Tom Holland is still very young compared to like the rest of the other MCU characters that were before him. He's got a lot of time left as this character, and he loves playing Spider-Man. I'm assuming it's just a contractual thing, and they will renegotiate. Remember when was it like 2 years ago? They were like, Marvel's going to lose the rights to Spider-Man, and the third film's not going to be in the MCU. Like, yeah, it's just articles trying to get clickbait. That's why I don't even really bring them up typically. They're not lying. They're just hyping up something too much, trying to create too much controversy. You know, like when Ben put someone dying in his trailer titles or his video titles, trying to get you to click on it. Where is he at? I want to give him shit for that again, but you know, it is what it is.
Drama.
But getting back to just briefly with Supergirl, so they brought Lex back, and it's not even Lex, but it is Lex. So this is either a dream totem construct of Lex from the future, or it is actually Lex from the future who somehow orchestrated everything that happened with Nixley, even though he was not privy to most of the information that he needed to orchestrate all of it. But the show's not going to dive into that because it is what it is.
AKA edgy.
Yeah, it's bad. It's really, really bad. I am curious. The only thing I'm curious about at this point is how they're going to wrap up all the character stories. Like, I just want to know what's going to happen and how they're going to make sense for these characters to live in this world. We believe that Supergirl's either going to go to Argo. Some people still think she's going to go to the future. I think Kelly and Alex will stay in National City because they may want to cross those characters over once in a while. Plus, they're not Supergirl. They're not big enough to be a factor in every little thing that happens.
Yeah.
Dreamer and Brainy will almost absolutely go somewhere else. Either Argo or the future as well. And John will probably go back to Mars, if I had to guess. Because in this episode, he had some visions of things happening on Mars. So I'm assuming he's going to go back to Mars too. It's just one of those things where it's sad that the show, the final season, they could have done a really well contained like 10 episode final season and been done with it. So there we go. Did you watch Batwoman this week?
I watched like half of it.
So I know Canada Graphs, if he's still here, he loves Batwoman. I am curious about his opinion on the show. I didn't get a chance to go into his live stream, but
well, just quickly, I shared something on my screen because I forgot I had it behind me.
All right, what is
but
this?
There was a Buddy the Elf reference earlier on, and I Buddy the Elf. So I'm weird. I do all my Christmas shopping extremely early, just so I'm not extremely early, but I start in October, so I feel like I'm not spending lots of money all at once.
Right.
Because I have like multiple Christmas things.
Are those all for Ben?
Yes, one of them is the box is for Ben. It's got a it's like you know when a Jack in the Box and you go din, 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 it pops out. This is when you open the box, a fist comes out and punches you in the head. Okay. So that's for Ben. But yeah, I got Buddy the Elf wrapping paper, and also Friends wrapping paper. You can't really see it. It's like under the Buddy the Elf.
You can binge all of that now. It's on some streaming services. So
is that normal? Okay, I got called weird for it by one of my mates. It's like, why are you buying? You saw the wrapping paper in my house the other day, and I was like, I don't know. I just started in October, so it's cheaper. It feels like it's cheaper. Anyway, maybe that should. Do you do it?
Yeah. We order early.
Like you start maybe not October, maybe November. You start then.
So well, I mean, we've already started doing our list and making our going in Amazon and putting our list together. So
so it doesn't feel like you're spending all this money in one week
we do that. Or we'll if we see something we know that someone's gonna like, we'll just get it, and then that way we've already done it, and you don't have to worry about it. So
okay. I thought at least I'm not a freaking freak. That regard.
Cal here with the 199 super chat. Do you think Legends season 7 will be? I don't know. Legends is a show that CW seems to be very happy with. And the ratings don't seem to matter much. Plus, the benefit of Legends is it's a rotating cast. They could rotate out over half the cast and bring in brand new people and save a bunch of money on a season. They're only paying for like a couple of people.
Legends is in the same spot as The Flash. If this season was its last, we'd already know.
Yeah.
You already know, usually. Before it airs, at the very least.
I don't think the CW is in the business of just randomly canceling shows anymore because it seems like they know that the fans will tune in for
and also season. Supergirl would have been renewed for season 7 if Melissa Benoist didn't want to go.
Right.
That'd still be going on.
Yeah. So Canograph says about Batwoman, I'm frustrated they are heading where they are headed with a particular ship. Besides that, okay episode, in my opinion, maybe the weakest one this season, though, but 75% of that is because of the shipping. So did you understand what they were doing in the shipping? Because you said you only watched half of the episode.
I think I stopped at the part where like that gang or whatever it is has like Nora Freeze there and her sister and says,
right.
And then they turn on the cryo chamber but didn't put the thing in or something. Like they just light it up. And I think that was it. The thing is that the show is, I said a lot, I think last week or the week before, like it's effed with a capital F. Because they're just, it's almost like, I don't know if anyone, we've discussed it, and I know some people in the chat agree, but I'm just curious whether it's the majority. They're literally just turning Ryan Wilder into Kate Kane.
Yes.
It's not even like, they're not even trying to hide it. They're literally just turning her into Kate Kane. Like, why? It's so lazy as well.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, it offers no story progression. If they kept her the way she was, you can progress that story and it gives you a different viewpoint on this, like a quote unquote savior of Gotham City. But instead, it's like, oh, well, just make her, if you want to put it in simple terms, the Black Kate Kane. Right. Like, it's so lazy and it's almost insulting. Yeah, because of where the character started and where the potential was that
because they got rid of Kate, but then they're like, oh, now we have to copy.
Like, if you're just going to do that, just it's And I don't know, how is she like the acting CEO of Wayne? Does she have
that doesn't make any sense. I'm going to go over. Okay, so I don't know if I'm actually going to do a review of this episode, so I'm going to go ahead and give my review here because I was supposed to do it today, but because of that construction, I didn't get a chance. I'm still going to do another video on Batwoman. There's an article I want to talk about, so that will come out this weekend. But I'll go ahead and give my review of the episode here because I don't really know if it's worth doing a whole video over it. So the only thing that I liked about this episode was the tone. I think the tone with like not being super, super serious works better for Batwoman.
Well, I was saying that last week. It should just be Legends. Just turn into Legends.
Yes.
Honestly, be goofy because the show's already broken.
It is. And then with Legends, you don't have to explain every little detail because you're already not taking things too seriously. So with Batwoman, they make so many mistakes sometimes with the storytelling that if they just didn't take it too seriously, it would actually be a better show. So I actually enjoyed the tone of this week's episode, but there was a lot of problems in this week's Batwoman. We'll get into those. First, I want to answer Gary. Do you think Batwoman will be canceled because of Ruby? No. I don't think anything. You might see like people on set change, like they might change out some people, but they will not cancel it because her complaints about the show are basically certain people. Like the show itself is not the problem. I know it's hard to understand to pick that apart, but her problem is with WB more than it is just the Batwoman show and
WB. Yeah,
so,
man.
I did see a lot of comments saying that the CW is to blame, and I'm like, how? It's not they're not making the show.
They're not the production side of it.
Yeah.
It's Warner Brothers television, man.
With Batwoman, there's a few key things from this episode that I think could sum up why I feel the way I feel. Good tone, good effects. I think the fight scenes were really good, and I think the special effects have been really good this season. This was my favorite episode in terms of like the way the characters were. I think all of them felt actually really good. The dialogue I thought was really good. Outside of that, we had a lot of issues. Number one is them trying to turn Ryan into this different character. It's like you set her up in season 2. You had a really strong origin story for her. You waste that the entire season. And then you get to season 3 and you almost reboot that because now she's the acting CEO of Wayne Enterprises. Her mother is rich. She's got a brother who's a huge influencer. It's almost like everything in her original story with her actual adopted mother and stuff like that, it's all been erased. She's not holding any of that over Alice anymore, which is good. Yeah. I'm glad that we're not still doing that. But, all of that has sort of been erased. And it's like they're rebooting the show again for a third time is what it feels like.
Well, do you think they're going off the old third time's the charm?
I mean, maybe, possibly. If you think about it, though, anyone else would be a better fit for a CEO of the company because, like Luke would have been the obvious choice to take over as the CEO if Kate is gone. That's the obvious choice because Ryan, not only is she not related to anyone in the Wayne family, but she's not even really anyone to the Wayne Corporation. She's Batwoman. She's no one to the Wayne Corporation. So why would she be the CEO?
Plot, Eric. Plot.
I guess so. Mike Glenn, 1-9 super chat. Who are Batwoman's villains? They just use Batman.
Well, you know why.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's because they wanted the storyline where she meets her mum. That's why.
Yeah. Yep.
She can't do that as random woman.
Yep. And the fact that this Batwoman is so new, she doesn't have her own villains. That's the problem. This isn't the Kate Kane Batwoman.
Well, that's the issue. Because that's the issue when you use a character and set them in a city that's established for 20 years roughly. That's how long Batman's been doing stuff, and all these villains are dead. So either like this season, I think it's somewhat interesting what they're doing, where they're using the stuff like the trophy stuff, and then either creating new villains from them.
I don't have a problem with that. I think that story.
I think that's what's saving the season so far. I think it's the only interesting thing.
Yeah,
because the characters are sort of all over the place, in my opinion.
Laura, when she mentioned that though, she was taking it she was saying it in a sarcastic way. So I don't think there was any follow-up to that. It was more like they were just reminding. So here's the thing about writing with these shows. And I have read so many articles about this. I've watched so many videos about this. There is a formula to the way these shows are made. And one of them is you can't do flashbacks all the time. So people that are tuning in for the first time need to understand what they're watching. So when a character mentions something that seems like it doesn't really fit with the scene and it's providing information that we already knew about, it's there just to tell the new viewers what the relationship these characters have with each other. So now people know that what Alice did, sort of in a nutshell. But they weren't going to talk about it anymore. Like they're not going to have a conversation about it or anything, is what I was saying. But yeah, is she the bar owner too? So that's all part of the same company, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So there we go. We had another super chat here from Ash. Good to see you. $2 super chat. Plot over character. Nothing new to the Arrowverse. To the older shows, it's not. Everything like post Stargirl is not driven by the same formula as everything else. Legends, Flash, Batwoman. Those are the three remaining shows that follow pretty much the same formula. The only difference is Legends doesn't care as much because it doesn't take itself seriously. But Batwoman and Flash, absolutely. And Supergirl, they do the same thing. The other thing that kind of bugged me about this episode was there were so many logical errors. Like when Batwoman went to get the combustible freeze container in the warehouse, and they had that cryogenic chamber that they put her in, and they said, "Oh, if we put her in this chamber without the formula, she'll be frozen. She'll, because of hypothermia." And so she reaches out to Luke, and she's telling Luke to like go and rescue. I think it was Nora. I think it was Nora that was captured at this point. And he's there freaking out about how to save her, and I'm like, cut power off to the warehouse. Turn it off. Either go there and disconnect it manually, or use this amazing computer system you have and hack in and turn off the power grid for that part of town. Done. Machine cuts off. No problems. Because we're not talking about a magical machine. It was just a piece of technology, and it has to have power to run. So I'm like, why not just do that? Instead, we had this whole like scene between her and Luke and Mary where they're talking about what they should do, and he has to go there and save her first and everything. And I'm like, just turn the power off. That's it. It's off at a warehouse and on a pier somewhere.
Is that Nelly Furtado saying it's turn on the light?
I don't know.
What is Nelly Furtado? Is it turn on the light? What's that song? But it's the opposite. It's a turn off the lights. Not
yes,
turn on.
That one.
What is it?
Yeah,
I'm not dreaming, am I?
I don't think so.
I think there's a song that goes like that anyway.
But the thing is that's the kind of like dropping the ball in the writer's room where when you have a group of writers, someone should go, why won't they just turn the machine off? Why wouldn't they just turn the power off to the machine? No one in that room said that. No one said that. Plus the fact that she's in the bat suit. Aren't there tons of things, gadgets and things in that suit that would break a glass? She had nothing in there that could break that glass. Nothing. So that was kind of odd to me. The Sophie and Ryan love story they're trying to set up. I would like to say I don't have a problem with it, but at the same time, it feels like they're trying to replace Kate with Ryan because they're both Batwoman. That's the way it feels. And Sophie, without being a crow, without Doug Ray Scott there, without Kate being there, she serves no purpose on the show. Sophie. So this is the only thing that they have for her to do. Unless she's going to suit up and join them as a team member.
In season 2, she was just sort of a passenger as well.
Yeah, but this time it's even more so because now Kate's gone. So also the Luke and Mary love story. So this is another smoke and mirrors and magic of the CW. They know that shippers drive a lot of these shows. They understand that. When a show is suffering on viewership or it's having trouble with like pulling in people on streaming, they're like, you know what we'll do? We'll create a love story that the shipping community has been asking for or that they can get behind. So they're like, we're going to do Sophie and Ryan. But then they double down and go, we're going to do Luke and Mary. So now we have 2 ships on the show between all of the main characters. So
ship it away.
There you go. Like the thing is, if we were watching the show and it was doing really, really well, and this was a story they wanted to tell, I'd probably have no issue with it because I think there is chemistry between Ryan and Sophie. But I do believe that it's the writers trying to create something to keep the wheels spinning on the show a little bit. So yeah, that's kind of where it is. Asher with the $5 super chat. If you had to rank the 100th episode, Arrow, Flash, Supergirl, well, I haven't seen Legends yet, so Legends would be the last place for me then, because I don't know. It would be pretty much in the order you put it there for me.
I think it's that. Except I'd swap Legends and Supergirl. I'd say Arrow, Flash, Legends, Supergirl.
Yeah, I have to see the Legends ones first before I can make a decision. But yeah, I would rank them exactly that way: Arrow, Flash, Supergirl, Legends for me until I see it. So there you go. Thank you for the super chat. Introverted Unicorn here goes, they will push those relationships so hard where it becomes a personality trait for the. That's exactly it. That's one of the biggest problems with the Flash is both Iris and Barry are not individual characters anymore. They're just one character now. And they need to pull that apart because it's becoming a big issue. MC Brooks here says the thing Cameron and Nicole have been hyping up the Hamill Fox ship since last season to engage fans because they should I say something shady about this? Because they do this to stir up buzz to get recognition because they want to get the fans excited about something, and then hopefully the writers will pick it up and run with it because that's what they want them to do. When you are a supporting character on a show, you want to do everything you can to draw some attention to yourself. And this is no offense to Nicole or Cameron because I have no issue with them whatsoever, but this is exactly what that was. They are doing what Tumblr did for years before it was destroyed. And that's creating a ship there. So there we go. The last thing I want to talk about with Batwoman, and then we're going to move on because we've been talking about it for like 20 minutes now, is the introduction of her brother as an influencer who somehow wants to now work with Wayne Enterprises with her after meeting her for 15 minutes.
Did he have a TikTok account?
He's some kind of influencer, either Instagram or TikTok or something.
Maybe he does the Renegade.
I don't know, but he met her for 15 minutes. And then shows up
I was worried
Enterprise and wants to create a business deal with her. He doesn't know anything about her.
I was getting worried we're going to get some weird stuff where he was going to start hitting on his sister, and he was like,
I hope
the whole time. And I was like, hold on, wait, what?
I really hope that's not the case.
Yeah, it was getting some weird territory. So
it's one of those things where, okay, so my theory about that is I think he's going to be, and I hope they don't do this, somehow, some way, he's going to be connected with something involving some like behind the scenes drama in Gotham. And it just so happens that she met her brother right before they uncover the drama. And she's like, oh, I know him. That's my brother. Right. I think that it's going to be so coincidental that the likelihood of it happening is zero.
What's the bet he finds out that she's Batwoman?
I mean, probably right away. He's going to go, yeah, he's just be like, I'm on social media all the time and I know a person's face when I see it or whatever.
Maybe he's like, Batwoman needs a TikTok account. You need to do dance moves.
Oh my gosh. I hope not. But who would do that? So this person shows up, at your business for 15 minutes and has no business conversation with you whatsoever. And then your next move is to go to where they work and offer them a multi-million-dollar deal.
Edgy.
I don't know. Mike Glenn with the $4.99 super chat goes, Legends was typical Legends, no one using the powers or time. I haven't seen it, but I'm assuming that's probably accurate. That there's no power juice.
It would have been hard for it to be because it was all like in Gideon's head. That's like the premise of the episode. It's in her head. So I don't think it was the time and place. I think it was just more the fact it was just within the Wave Rider.
I was going to say, so none of those characters actually come back. They're just there through Gideon.
Yeah, it's all like memories of hers. And that's why it's all on the Wave Rider, because obviously she exists on the Wave Rider. So that's why it's all contained there.
I don't think there's any chance of Javicia leaving Batwoman. I think she's very empowered by that show, so she's not going to go anywhere unless something major happens.
But yeah, it's very important to remember, like, Batwoman has sort of like escaped the discussion. Like, it doesn't really get talked about much. Like, it's like the only CW shows I think they get talked about in like the common place where like you'll see articles posted regularly about them are Superman, Lois, Flash, in regards to DC, and then I guess to an extent Stargirl maybe as well.
Right.
but those are the
The-
threes. So
the bridge
Batwoman,
scene,
Legend of
I actually
Supergirl
like
sort
the
of, like,
bridge
flow
scene.
off.
Introverted Unicorn. I thought it was fun. They used the freeze ray to like make a frozen bridge. I thought it was actually pretty cool. It was very comic book, so I didn't have an issue with it.
Reminds me of Eric's beard, the bridge.
Yeah, it could be. So, anyway, I'm curious what you guys thought of Batwoman. Leave it in the comments below. Let's move on to something else and talk a little bit
I've got a Paige's pick.
All right, do you want to do that now?
We can get through it quickly.
Well, what is it?
It's a long topic. It's a long subcategory. It's
All right,
songs
we'll
you
do-
listen to. Oh, sorry,
I was saying
what
we're
were you
going to do
say?
this, and we'll do this, and then we'll talk about the Flash news.
Oh, okay. Songs you listen to when the homies aren't around, even though the homies are listening to the exact same songs when you aren't around.
Oh, okay. So like something you keep to yourself. You don't want people to know that you like it. Is
But
that what
even
this playlist is?
yeah, but they're listening to it as well.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's
Why didn't Batwing freeze their van instead? The better question is, why is it that school bus full of kids froze the entire bus and basically
did
everyone
they
died
did
on
they
that bus?
die or did they
They did,
survive?
and then they never talked about it for the rest of the episode.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was watching that at the beginning. It's like, did they even mention that they died, or
So they just skip over that
because
I
they
guess
seem
it's
to
not important
joke
enough.
about it.
They did. It didn't seem like it was like a big deal to
kids
them.
died. How funny is
So,
that?
okay, there we go. All right, what are the songs here?
Okay, to start off, we got "It's Raining Men" by the Weather Girls.
That's like a 70s song.
I think it's 80s or late 70s.
Yeah, well, it's been new versions of it like every 5 years. There's
Can we get
actually
a
one that's
reenactment.
no. There's actually one that came out in the late 90s.
It's by the Spice Girls woman.
No. Well, yes, but no, the one that came out in the late 90s was like the Weather Girls with RuPaul, and they did like a really cool remix of it. And that one was very, like, as far as club music goes, it was very popular. And I actually played it recently. Somebody requested that song. It was like a 60th birthday party or something, and they wanted to hear a bunch of disco. And that was one of the songs they wanted to hear. So I played that version, and everyone was like, oh my gosh, I really like this. So maybe it's making a comeback. I don't know. What's next?
Interesting analysis. They got "I Kissed a Girl" by Katy Perry.
Is that really one that people listen to? They don't tell people they listen to? Is that?
You'd be surprised, Eric.
I mean, maybe. I don't think of that song that way, but I guess so. Yeah. That was like her big breakout song, the one that her parents were kind of looked at her with a side eye because they're like, you
They're
come from
religious.
a religious background and you shouldn't be making music like that. Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Next up, I got "Fergalicious" by Fergie.
That video is so funny. Like after we're done with the after party, go watch the music video for that. It is hilarious because I think that's the one where it shows them pulling up to Taco Bell in their little like Mustang or whatever. That's glamorous. Fergalicious is funny, but go watch the glamorous video too. That one's funny.
Fergalicious is like some like Willy Wonka type stuff.
It is, yeah. But go watch the glamorous song because both of those songs to me are kind of synonymous with each other. But there's like she pulls up to the drive-thru at Taco Bell in a little like convertible Mustang, and they throw their food at the guy after he hands it to him. I don't know, it's silly. Anyway, yeah, that's a funny song.
Next up, I got "Breaking Free" from High School Musical.
That is one that I would never tell anyone that I listen to. That is absolutely one that I would be like, nope.
Okay, so mini story time.
All right.
This is when I was in LA with me and two mates, and me and my mate would listen. Like, this is a song we'll just listen to, but our other mate is like gets embarrassed just by any music being played somewhat loud in the car. Any music, let alone High School Musical. So we're on, I think it was West Pico. If you're in, I guess, from like California. Is it West Pico? I think it's West. I think that's the name of the thing. Anyway, it's this massive road, and that's just pretty much on about half the car's volume, which is pretty loud. So driving down there, and you got "Breaking Free" from High School Musical being blasted with him driving, and he couldn't control it. So everyone's looking at him. That was quite funny, and also we kept farting.
Was anybody hurt in the process of this or no?
I think his emotions.
What's a good story then? Nobody was hurt. Nobody was
Yeah. Oh, and we were singing as well. We were singing. We're soaring, flying.
Yeah.
Yeah, good song. And then finally, I think this might be Eric's ringtone for his phone. Ringtone, is that a boomer reference? I'm not too sure.
It might be. I don't know if anybody has those.
Does
anymore.
anyone use
no one because no one
ringtone?
calls them anymore? Like,
does anyone use the term ringtone anymore?
Even worse, ringback tone, where you call somebody's phone and they have a song playing on it when you call them. I used to have that, and then the stupid thing was it went to the default, which is Vivaldi. It's like a classical like song by Vivaldi or whatever. And everybody tells me like, why do you have like opera or something on your phone? I'm like, I don't. It's just the stupid company defaults to that. So
anyway, so the final song, potentially Eric's quote unquote ringtone, is Barbie Girl by Aqua.
Look, so like the chat was saying that too. Yeah, it's funny that song gets requested still.
What, Barbie Girl?
Yeah, I still get people to pay for that. They tip me to hear that song.
Can we get a reenactment?
No, we cannot get a reenactment. No, we cannot. But that's one of those songs where, yes, you would absolutely sing along to it, but you have your windows rolled up, and when you pull up to a stoplight, you act like this. You're like, I'm a Barbie. And then you get through the light, life in plastic. Yeah, that's one of those things. That's pretty funny.
Well, at least we know Eric drives with no hands, apparently.
I do, absolutely. I have a self-driving car, so...
Oh, so Tesla Flex? Okay.
Yeah.
I told you. It's got the Lamborghini, the Rolls Royce, and now a Tesla.
Yeah, it is what it is.
The driveway is getting quite filled.
I'm gonna have to get on Ben about this because he said he was coming here and he is not here yet. This is unacceptable. Ash with a $5 super chat. Watch them create a love triangle between Mary, Luke, and Ryan's brother. Oh, I didn't think about that. Also, since Barry has never met Ryan, how are they going to explain her helping? I'm assuming they'll cover that. It's probably going to be something simple like, you're new. Yeah, I'm not new. I've been doing this for a couple years now. Like, it'll be some funny moment like that or whatever. I'm assuming. They don't want to spend a lot of time on that in the crossover. They just want people to see cool super. So let me ask you a question. This is kind of related to the next thing we're going to talk about. Do you prefer, and this is for the chat, and I mean, Paige, you can answer if you want. I think I already know your answer, but do you prefer when they spend like an entire episode of a crossover explaining how characters know each other? Or would you prefer when they spend a scene kind of explaining it and then just move on to the cool superhero stuff? Because I know my answer to that.
I would rather than just move on or just have like a couple of lines of dialogue and everything else happened off screen.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's coming from someone who I love like exposition and backstory, but I think in moments like that, I don't want to spend a lot of time getting to know each other in a crossover. Because the reality is a lot of these characters met each other in crossovers. And you find out, like, look at Oliver and Barry. They built that up over years. So yeah. That's how I feel about it. A lot of people seem to no one wants an episode of backstory of something that all the fans already know. Exactly. Because we know, like, you already know Batwoman, we already know the Flash, they just have to know each other. And then that's it. So there we go. Depends on how important it is to the story. Well, I can assure you that these crossovers are not going to have, the stories aren't going to be that difficult. At least I hope they're not going to be. Can't believe next week is Stargirl finale, dedicated after party. We're going to talk a bit about Stargirl. Stargirl, there's not a ton to really go over in terms of excitement, but it is a really, really good story. So we'll see where we are with that. All right, we're going to talk a bit about this news that came out right before the after party, or about an hour before the after party. And that is the Armageddon description. So we're only getting part 1. Do you think we'll see parts 2, 3, 4, 5? Or you think they're going to wait until after the first episode?
Well, they'll probably release them. The thing is that this part 1 description I had a look. It's literally a reworked description of just the Armageddon thing as a whole. Like, it's actually shorter. It's the same words. It's just shorter. So I'm surprised I guess they have to. It's a description, it's a synopsis, but it's the same. I think the only thing they included is they reworded like the last sentence there. It's like it's different. They sort of like summarized the other description into one sentence. So it was like another like 3 or 4 sentences, and they've like summarized it into one. So it's like that opening sentence is the exact same.
When a powerful alien threat arrives on Earth under mysterious circumstances, Barry, Iris, and the rest of Team Flash are pushed to their limits in a desperate battle to save the world. We already knew that. That was one that we already knew.
So
but with time
it's-
running out
yeah.
and the fate of humanity at stake, Flash and his companions will also need to enlist the help of some old friends if the forces are of good or to prevail. The only thing I see on this that's interesting, it says Brandon Routh guest star, so he's going to be in the first episode. I don't know if we knew that 100%. Did we know that 100% already?
Yeah,
Or
we knew
no?
that. We knew
Okay.
that he's in the
So
first.
even that wasn't new news, I guess.
Because he did this and then did Legends.
Right. You see this right here, though?
Well, I'm not surprised. The showrunner usually writes the first episode.
So
I'm surprised it's just by him though. I'm surprised because sometimes he does the story and someone else does the teleplay, but he's done both of them by the looks of it.
Yeah. Mike here says, thought the Black Lightning and Flash would be new hero bros. I think they are going to be. It's wild to me, and I never would have believed that Ruby Rose would be dropping all the stuff she's dropping about Batwoman, because I can almost guarantee you that there was major drama on the Black Lightning set. Major drama that has not seen the light of day yet.
But I think that's more personal drama rather than professional drama that Ruby Rose is.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
About.
But it
So
affected the production of that show.
Yeah, but I think if that started coming out into the light, I think it'd reflect badly just on people, like, because it's personal drama. It's like if Eric had a diss track ready for Ben and stuff, but it had nothing to do about anything outside of just their personal stuff.
Yeah,
I think that's what happened on Black Lightning.
About Jefferson's speech with Barry. I'll be honest, Jefferson is more of a mentor. I mean, he's been Black Lightning for years. So even though he's had struggles in the recent seasons when the show was on the air, he was a superhero years before that. So he's definitely someone that could still give advice to Barry. Maybe not about specific characters that he has to fight, but generalized hero advice. I think he's qualified. What I don't understand is when Barry needs hero advice from the lady that lives next door or somebody that works at the coffee shop. Like, I don't understand that.
Or the catering table.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's the same thing on all the shows. When our heroes step aside with, like, I love it. Like, you'll have a room. Guys, pay attention to this. Seriously, when you're watching these shows, you'll have a room with like 5 people in it, right? And one character will go, I need to go run this processing through the computer. So-and-so, why don't you come with me while we go do this? And they walk away, even though there's no reason for them to go. So it leaves 2 characters together so we can have one of those pep talks. It happens so often. And if you think about it, when you see it, you'll start to recognize it, and it makes even less sense. Because it's like they want to have these 2 characters talk with each other. And a lot of times it doesn't amount to anything. And I've actually gone through and I looked at some of the episodes and I would take out the pep talks. I'd run the episode straight through. They'd end up being like 31 minutes or something. It doesn't change anything in the episode. The pep talks, unless there's some big information in them, they make absolutely no difference. Because Barry will walk into a room with Iris. They'll have a pep talk. It will be nothing of any importance. And then Barry will walk out of that room and they'll just immediately move on with the story. The pep talks add nothing to the episodes. Absolutely nothing. So I'd be okay with Black Lightning having a conversation with Barry. I would love that. Joe here with the $5 super chat. Do we know if Nora will be joining the crossover? You can't have Ray Palmer without Nora. No, she's not going to be there.
Well,
she's not.
She could be, but
she's not listed and credited.
Yeah, but I think they've just listed the main people because.
So you think she might have a cameo in it?
Well, the thing is that by the looks of it, it's Ray Palmer in episode 1, Black Lightning episode 2, Batwoman episode 3. But I think like Alex Danvers, for example, appears in multiple episodes. I think she's confirmed for 3 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's because I think I saw it on social media. People were saying that, I don't know if it was Javicia or Kyla, how you pronounce her name, said that she did scenes with Javicia Leslie. And I'm pretty sure Javicia Leslie only did episode 3.
All right.
Because I don't know how she could have done that with the Batwoman schedule.
Well, maybe we will see her. I thought for sure they would credit her since she is
and
a
then
big actress.
And I think Mia might be in 2 episodes as well.
Oh, great.
I'm not 100% sure about that.
Perfect.
But it seems that the ones that I think episode 1 and 2 is Ray Palmer, aka Eric Doppelganger, and Black Lightning, aka Ben Doppelganger.
Robert here says, you misunderstood. I met his speech he gives to his students, the one broken up in the trailer. Oh, okay. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I don't mind one-on-one chats or speeches. I don't like it when it's obviously there to fill in time. They do that, and the reason why you don't see it so much on Stargirl and Superman and Lois, and you probably won't see a lot of it on Naomi, is it is a very easy way to fill in time and attempt to grow characters. Like that's what that is, but it doesn't really work that way. That's what they want to do with it, but it doesn't really happen that way because there's only so many times that Barry and Iris can have a pep talk. But the way the CW formula works is they assume that everybody's watching an episode for the first time. And they think that that's a good way to remind you that these two are a couple or that these people are friends. That's usually the way it works. Good news, Kristen Kramer and Chilblain will be in the crossover. Is that good news? I'm thinking that's sarcasm.
Well, I'm very interested to see what they do with Kristen because I think they talked about how they're continuing that story that with like what her abilities are, like the meta human power replicants or whatever, of replicating the powers and stuff. They've got a big task to make her likable anyway, because I don't think anyone really watching the show likes the character.
Nope.
I'd be surprised if there is. I think if you said yes, you did, you'd be lying. Like, no offense, but I think you'd be just lying straight up.
Yeah.
So they've got a big task there, and you can do it. You can do it. It's not impossible. But I'm very.
By the way, her
to see how
story
they do
with
it.
Joe didn't make any sense last season. It was one of the worst.
You know what? I
stories.
think they were building it to something else, and they might have changed it. I'm very curious because it seemed like they just sort of rushed at the end. It's like, oh, she's got this. It just felt like, oh, okay, well,
yeah. Who's the Pagey doppelganger? Damien Dark? Is that your doppelganger?
Who is my doppelganger? Who would my doppelganger be?
So the CW has a formula like the MCU. I mean, it's weird that you would be very specific about that. I mean, yes, a lot of formulas exist in franchises.
Yeah, I was gonna. That's why they're spoil it. Franchises. That's
right.
why they.
That seems like I like the
same.
CW, so I'm going to mention the MCU to try and be shady. That's what that seemed like, but it's all good.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think who my double. I'm trying to think of someone ultimately very awesome and just above the pack.
I actually think Goldface.
I was going to say Goldface, but then I was thinking Amunet Black. What are we thinking about that one? I'm thinking that might be the right answer. Right.
Oh God, I see one here. Look, Pagey's doppelganger is Gorilla Grodd.
Look, he's a big hunkin' chunk of spunk, if you know what I mean. So maybe
that sounds like Kath and Kim there. That's what that sounded like.
Hunk of spunk.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what that sounded like.
Maybe that's what the reference.
Yeah. Daniel Panabaker is leaving. Did that news just drop or is that a troll?
Sorry?
Someone said that Daniel Panabaker is leaving. I said, did that news just drop or is that a troll? All I have to do is refresh my Twitter. I don't see anything about it. So I'm guessing it's a troll. Like some article either released it or somebody else released it. It's not real. Yeah, I don't see anything about that. Also, if somebody's leaving, like we dealt with this with Carlos and everything, when they're ready to go, that it'll be news. Like they'll make an announcement about it. I wish that a lot of these outlets would stop pushing on that because of the fact that they're trying to get clicks, but then it's like, just wait till the actual story comes out. You're not doing yourself any favors by constantly asking that. But
what's not being done with favors?
If you keep posting up fake news and then the real news drops, we talked about this with videos before, like trailer release for no way.
Wait, what? I haven't been listening the past few minutes. I sort of like zoned out. Who said what?
The fact that someone posted that Daniel Panabaker is leaving, and I said just like with Carlos or any other story, it would make better. They would be better used to like wait for them to announce it than to keep asking because it's really silly. And it's like when somebody releases a trailer video that doesn't have an extra trailer in it and they just do it over and over and over again, then it doesn't, when it actually does happen, it doesn't have the impact that these outlets want. They're trying to get a clickbait title, basically. Somebody said Katie Lotz is leaving. People say all kinds of stuff.
You know what?
What's up?
I just won the lottery. Do you believe me?
There we go. Can I give Paige a pep talk? I mean, I can mimic a CW pep talk. They're very easy to do.
I don't need any motivation. I don't need any.
The general pep talk of CW is like you bring the person over, like you walk over with them.
Actually, you know what? I don't know. I don't think I need a pep talk.
What?
I think I need a talking to.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Talking down.
Let's pretend that this. Let me find something.
Wait, hold on. Can we get a twerk?
No, we cannot get a twerk.
Oh,
This is a CW character. It's could be anybody, right? Put them there. Everyone's left the room at this point. We're sitting together, and you go, we've been through so much.
It just looks like you're talking to the microphone.
Am I? Okay, well, we'll talk to the microphone. This is the CW character. All right. We've been through so much together, and at the end of the day, you always make the right decisions. You just have to believe in yourself because you're always going to do what's best for everyone else. And even if you don't, that's okay. We'll pick up the pieces. We're a team. That's what we do. And we do it all the time.
Wait, it actually looks like you're talking to the Flash.
Where's the Flash?
Because you got the little flash symbol there, the little light up thing, lava lamp thingy.
Oh, well, yeah, whoever I want to talk to.
But it's the Flash who's like, if John Cena played the Flash.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, exactly.
Okay.
So and we always come through.
What the?
We always, you can't see him. Right?
That's Brooklyn Nine-Nine, isn't it?
No, it's John. That's John Cena, right?
No, John said, you can't see me. Yeah, but what was the theme song?
I was just making something up to avoid
It sounded
copyright.
like Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Am I the only one dreaming? You went, did it?
Maybe. And then you go like, we can make it. All we have to do is sit down, talk to our tech person who always comes up with an answer in the immediate episode that we're in. Or we have a doctor on call. There's so many things we can do and do it the right way. And you just have to believe in love, believe in yourself, and know that we'll do what's right for all of us. And in the end, that's what it's about. It's about being a family. It's about being together. It's about making the choices that benefit everyone down the road. And we will do it. We can do it together. And I know we can.
Well, fuck your advice. I'm going to do what I want.
It is a literally meaningless motivational speech. That's what that is. It's literally that. It's just that over and over and over again. Insert this character, insert that character, mention this reference, mention that reference. It's always the same conversation. It is. It's always the same speech. We had a super chat here from Horrible Boy Productions. What a fun name. How many series do you think Flash has left? I would not be shocked if it goes till 10, to be honest. And I mean, maybe that's being optimistic, but I don't feel like the people on the show are ready to go yet. Maybe one or two of the actors are, but Grant Gustin is not giving me the impression that he's ready to walk away from the show. They just gave him the gold boots. Like, I don't think so. What do you think, Paige?
I don't know idea. My prediction was always 9, and it looks like they're going to get to 9. So anything after that is just a bonus. I always thought it was going to get to 9. It looks like that's going to happen. So no matter what. Oh,
Ash here with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much. He goes, wait, how are they going to explain Mia coming back in time? The Wave Rider is out of commission on Legends, and as far as we know, Barry can't bring non-speedsters through time. He can, though, right?
Didn't Laurel have the little time travel thing?
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
So wouldn't that just be what she uses?
Probably. There will be some MacGuffin, or
maybe she goes to the Flash Museum in the future and uses something there where they're able to, maybe there's some sort of time travel thingy there.
Uh-huh.
But from memory, like, I'm pretty sure Laurel has a little time travel thing that's how she got to the future.
Right.
So maybe Mage uses that.
Yeah, I mean, but I have seen, Barry has ran other people through time before, right? I mean, I feel like he has.
No, it doesn't. He hasn't. He can't, because it's like.
Wasn't there an episode where he had Iris and he took her through time?
Don't think so.
I don't know. I feel like he could. I don't. Have they ever established 100% that he can't? Was there an episode? Can somebody point me to that episode, because I forget about stuff like that. So
it was episode 2. Unknown season.
before time travel was a thing, right? I guess. Let's see. Unfortunately, I can't pull it up on the screen because StreamYard is awful. But Advir says, late hello. He's an enhanced Team Eric member. Thank you, Advir, for doing that. How are you doing? And do not forget to please check out the Content Creator Binge Battle that is available for all of you Team Eric members right now. Introverted Unicorn is a member for 13. What's that? What was that?
Enhanced team member Eric just sounds dirty.
Yeah. Introverted Unicorn was a member. It's like everything sounds dirty to you. It doesn't matter what it is. Pep Talk Bingo would be a great time to play. We should do that. Actually, we should do like a game where like people have to do pep talks or have villain conversations. That would be a lot of fun. I'm going to think of a way to make that work. That'd actually be fun. Introverted Unicorn. Too funny. So we are very close to the premiere of The Flash. I think it's like 3 weeks out now.
2.5, I think, roughly.
Yeah.
2.5. Yeah, 2.5.
It's pretty wild. Is everybody excited? Because I know this is kind of a controversial season because of what happened last season. Is everyone excited about the return of the series coming back?
I wonder how you can watch the Armageddon trailer and not get excited.
There's some people that are doing it. They're trying.
Yeah, I know, but they're the people that are probably always negative.
Anthony says if The Flash ends, it should have 13 episodes. You'd be surprised.
You don't know. Because it depends on the story. Because with Supergirl, the story that they're telling doesn't need to be 20. But Flash could tell a story that requires... Because you'd say, oh, only give him 13. Then you watch the 13 and go, man, I wish they had 3 extra episodes.
Yeah.
Like, look at Titans. Everyone's like, oh, I love how Titans only 13 episodes. It needed 2 or 3 more episodes to make that season work. You see it all the time. People always want shorter seasons, and then the seasons don't work because the story they're telling doesn't fit around 13 episodes. And yeah, should they try and make that work? Yeah, but sometimes stories are bigger or smaller depending on certain things, and you have to make it work around whatever episodes you have. There's always going to be positives and negatives to having a certain episode count. And with the Flash, they will probably give... I reckon Flash will have 18, whatever season the final season is.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they might go up to 20. They might, because they're only 18 this season because they have to start later.
So the CW wants as much episodes as possible if it works for them financially. Like, they want the shows that pull in a lot of viewers and a lot of ad space to run as long as they can.
Yeah, but Anthony, Arrow only got 8 because how do you do an extra 10 episodes when Oliver's dead?
Not only that, but didn't Steven want a short season?
Yeah, but also that, but he dies in Crisis. That's the way that they wanted to do it.
Right.
So how do you do an extra, even if they wanted to do a full season, how do you do it?
You have Mia as the Green Arrow for the rest of the season.
You know how they were thinking of inventing the virtual slap? I am going to use this moment as my advocacy around the invention of the virtual slap, because you deserved a virtual slap at that moment in time.
Thomas says, just worry, it's more bait and switch with Flash. I mean, it could be. I'll say this: what I've seen in the trailer reminds me of OG Flash, so it could be bait and switch. But
it's very important to remember Thomas is a serial negative Nancy.
Oh, okay.
He's on the list. He's on. You know how Santa has the naughty list? I have my negative Nancy list.
Oh, do you?
I also have my.
Do you check your list twice? Do you check it twice?
I check it more than twice. I'm checking it. I've checked it 3 times throughout the stream, and I've added 2 names. Those names will be kept secret. So. Okay. Anthony, you might be on the list.
Do not expect a Friends or a Elf wrapped gift from Paige if you're
expect a Supergirl season 6 wrapped present if you're on the negative Nancy list. And when you open it up, don't expect good things, just like Supergirl season 6.
Yeah. Avir here with a $5 super chat. Do you watch anime? I do sometimes. If not, have you seen Batman Ninja? Yes, I saw that when it came out. Also, Barry ran Nora to the future, but I don't know if that really counts. Nora, his mother.
Yeah, but she's a thing of the Speed Force, and it was like,
okay.
Yeah, so that's different. But I think like we'll talk about like just a non-Speed Force person, like like Mia or like whatever, whoever it might be.
So did you ever see Batman Ninja?
I think I watched half of it, and I felt like I was tripping balls, so I had to stop watching.
It was a very difficult movie to watch because it was so strange. Like, it was very anime, but having it as Batman characters and Batman family members, like, it was kind of like there was good fight scenes, but I didn't really care about the story. Like, the fight scenes were really cool and the character powers were really cool, but the story was kind of a mess. I didn't dislike it, but I don't know. What did you think of it, Edvir? I'm curious if you liked it or not. Roderick with a 4.9 super chat. I'm watching the crossover, then bolting. Haven't watched a full Flash season since season 4. So it seems to me also this crossover is going to be contained, right? It doesn't feel like it's going to.
I think it's contained, but I'm confused because the trades are running this line, which I can't find the source of. I've been trying to find the source of it. If anyone can find the source of it, let me know. But the trades have included like that. That all the ramifications from Armageddon are felt through all the shows, and I can't find the source of that quote. It's not in the initial press release for it. I'm like, did Eric Wallace say it in an interview? Did one of the other showrunners say it? And I can't find the source of it. But the different trades, like these big ones, have mentioned it. I'm like, where did this come from? Because it came out of nowhere. So I think I am curious because it's dealing with potential time. We know we don't know, but it looks like it's going to be dealing with time travel both forward and back potentially.
Right.
And I'm wondering whether it's like almost like a Flashpoint type situation where there's minor changes to the timeline and it allows the shows to maybe do anything that they want to, which I don't know why they would need to right now because Crisis just happened. The only show I can think of is maybe Batwoman and maybe Superman and Lois. But even then, Superman and Lois did the changes anyway.
Right.
So I'm sort of confused by that whole thing. But I think based off these episode 6 set photos that have come out that include like the Eddie Thorne and stuff, I think something happens at the end of Armageddon that then sets up that episode. Because it's important to remember, though Armageddon's only 5 episodes, the 5th episode is the quote-unquote mid-season finale.
Right.
We go on the Christmas break after episode 5, so I would assume there's a cliffhanger in that at the end of that episode.
And then even if you're not watching that when it picks back up in like February or whatever, is it January or February when it comes back? It's usually February.
It's usually late January, but they might do early February, maybe depending on
it. That's kind of where the season will actually start, I guess.
In regards to like the main season, like obviously Armageddon will still have, because we know like that Iris thing is still going to be in Armageddon, and Dion Owens is in episode 1. Like we know that, so there's still, and like Christian Kramer's in there as well in the opening 5 episodes. So there's still elements there. It's just that the main focus is Armageddon. That the main So they might plant seeds for stuff later in the season in the first 5 episodes, but like the main story is just its own thing in there for the most part.
All right. Horrible Way Productions with another super chat. Thank you so much. You guys just seen Last Night in Soho, would recommend. I saw that, but I don't know what that's about. Is it a graphic novel or something? Or is it just a random movie? Last Night.
I think it's an original movie. I don't think it's an adaptation.
I'm probably going to check it out, but he says he would recommend. So there we go. If you're thinking about watching it, we've got a thumbs up from Horrible Boy Productions.
Well, didn't you rewatch Snowtown this week?
No, I did not. So
no Snowtown. Would you recommend Snowtown to the viewers of
I would not. I would not. It's on YouTube though, but I would not recommend it.
Is that where you watched it?
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Joe with the $2 super chat. What was that Superman and Lois news? We talked about it like an hour ago, I think.
I think 59 minutes.
Yeah. So Lucy from season 1 of Supergirl is coming back as a recurring character on Superman and Lois season 2. So playing the same character. So there we go. Yeah, we're going to talk about Stargirl now. Let's move in that and then we'll wrap everything up.
Stargirl. Yeah.
So the last 2 episodes of Stargirl have been very heavy in setting up the finale. Like they've been basically putting all the pieces in place. This week we had obviously more stuff going on with Eclipso, and his big plan was revealed, and Jenny is infected. Is she infected, or is it just like is it Eclipso inside of her, or is it just something from the Shadowlands and she's getting visions? I'm not totally sure what's happening with Jenny.
Well, he infected the ring.
Right, but I mean, is it actually Eclipso, or is it just something from the Shadowlands?
Well, Eclipso is the Shadowlands.
Right, but is it literally him, or is it like just vision? Like, is he purposely doing that to her, or is it just something that, like what Dr. Midnight was dealing with? Like when he was there, where he's just getting visions and stuff like that. Because Eclipso wasn't there in the Shadowlands with them all the time. Sometimes it was just visions. I'm wondering if hers are like visions, or is it Eclipso showing her the future? I'm not totally sure what's happening with that. What do you think it is? Do you think he's doing purposely, or is it just a byproduct of getting infected?
Well, it's probably his mind. It's what he's envisioning.
So she's seeing what he's seeing, basically, is what's happening.
She is seeing what he is planning on doing and seeing.
That's what I'm getting at. Like hers doesn't feel like everyone else's. It feels like a different thing, because she's basically in a coma dreaming about like things that haven't happened yet. Whereas every other thing that Eclipso's ever done has been either, a memory or an alternate reality that happens, in present day. We haven't really seen anyone react to it like Jenny had. So that's why I was a little bit confused on what was actually happening there. But I kind of surmised that she was getting glimpses of the future. So I'm glad to see her back, though. I'm really shocked that the ring immediately tried to like zap, because I don't think that was her, right? Was it the ring just automatically did that? Like zap that the leftover material, the residue? Did she do that, or did because I got the impression the ring just did it on its own.
I thought, but then again, she doesn't have like full control, so maybe the ring does like some stuff automatically sometimes. But
yeah, it felt like the ring was doing its own thing there. Anyway, so we have that going on. It's good to see her back. Do you think she's going to move on beyond this season? It feels like she's Jenny. Do you think she's going to stick around, or do you think she's going to be done after the finale?
No, I think she'll be next season. I think she will, at least, because I'd assume one of the cliffhangers they're going to do is something to do with her brother.
That's what
because they set up Helix. They did the whole Helix thing. I'm like, surely that's season 3, and her brother's still there. Like they said, oh, her brother left, but then they did the whole Dr. Bones, like, oh, they think he's left, and he's obviously still there. So I'd assume the cliffhanger is either meeting him or seeing something involving there, or there's just something along those lines. And it wouldn't surprise me too much, because in the trailer for the episode, Eclipso takes over Corny to open up the Shadowlands or to connect them. And I wonder if opening up the Shadowlands then connects Obsidian to that more deeply, because that's where his powers come from, the Shadowlands.
Yeah.
In the comics. So I wonder if that sort of does something with him. And that's one of the cliffhangers.
What did you think of the story with Mike and Jakeem?
Yeah, I thought it was good. Like, the thing is, I've seen people complaining, like, oh, now they're just bringing Jakeem in. And I was like, well, now's the time. Like, there's been no reason to. Like, people keep thinking, oh, my God, there's nothing happening this season. But this season is within, like, a 2-3 week period. Like, it's only been a week.
That's what's called summer school. It's taking place over the summer.
Like, I think the story is really good. And it's just, like, over that. But it's over a short period of time. But it feels much longer. Like, I was sort of shocked when they said it'd only been about a week since that fight in the cafeteria, just because it's been like 6 weeks for us watching. Right. It's been so long. But then you realize, oh, it's really only been like a day roughly each episode.
And when you go to binge this, it's going to feel more natural.
I think this season would be like a very I think this season is more bingeable than last season. Just because last season would have gaps, like they'd skip like a week, or they'd skip a few days since something happened. Mm-hmm. But this season literally is like each episode is a day almost, or like maybe like a day and a half or 2 days. Like at the most, it's probably like 2 days each episode, and then it picks up straight after as well.
But yeah, so I enjoyed the story with those. Also, a lot of people were talking about the intro with "I'm Too Sexy" and the.
Well, I messaged Eric before, and it's like there's an after party reference at the beginning of Stargirl.
Yeah,
it goes in last week's after party. "I'm Too Sexy" by Right Said Fred was brought up.
I think they were watching us. I think they filmed that scene after they saw the after party.
Well, at least they put the music in. afterwards, and I had a bit of a laugh when that song started playing. I was like, "Oh, what are the chances?"
You know, at first it annoyed me, but then I realized that the show had been so dark for so long, we kind of needed that little like 1.5, 2 minute scene to sort of reignite everyone's spirits a little bit. Plus, it was the dog. I'm not going to talk about the logistics of the dog running around and destroying stuff like that's
like if it was like
that,
if it was like Michael Pat dancing around the house to "I'm Too Sexy," then
yeah,
you'd be like, "Oh, what the hell's going here?"
yeah, I would have been mad about that. I definitely would have been mad about that. Horrible Boy Productions with another super chat. Thank you so much. When do you think Stargirl will meet our Flash? Well, not in this crossover, so I would assume in the fall of next year's shows. What do you think if that's going to happen?
Yeah, but do you want a bit of a insight?
Yeah. What's up?
So Brett Bassinger, who plays Stargirl, she got big off a Nickelodeon show called Bella and the Bulldogs, and I think it's either one or both of the people who created Bella and the Bulldogs are executive producers on The Flash under Eric Wallace. So I don't know if that's the connection there. And also Eric Wallace said in an interview that he's talked to Brett Bassinger before about like after she was with Stargirl. And I know that, for example, when to get Jay Garrick on the show, Jeff Johns had to ring Eric Wallace because it's all because of the suit. Because the suit belongs to the Flash production, it doesn't belong to Stargirl, so they had to get permission for that. So there's conversation between the shows. Ben's in the chat, by the way, just an hour and a half late.
And he hasn't caught up on Stargirl,
so it wouldn't surprise me too much, just because there's connections there. Like there's people that know each other and everything like that.
Yeah, Jeff
Johns needed permission for the suit, because it belongs to the Flash production. It's not a Stargirl. It's not a Stargirl property. It's not necessarily getting John Wesley's ship. It's the suit. That was the issue.
Yeah.
And Eric Wallace would be in charge of that.
I'm annoyed with Stargirl for showing only one episode for Starman and a search for Pat. Why do you think that storyline's kind of
it tracks back to what I was just saying then. How long is this season taking place over? Like 2.5 weeks?
Right. Well, we also got Starman in flashbacks, so we did see more of him.
But that's the thing; he'll show up in this finale because it's actually realistic that it would take him about 2 or 3 weeks to then track Pat to Blue Valley after that thing, after that conversation. Because I think he was still in California in that opening scene.
Yeah,
it was somewhere in California, I think, in that opening scene. And I don't know how long would it take you to like properly navigate your way through America, like checking certain things and
probably at least a week to get halfway through, or about 3 days to get halfway through. So yeah. Advir here with a $5 super chat. What is the point of Eclipso taking over Courtney? It's not like her staff will let Eclipso use it because the staff has some kind of sentience. What are your thoughts? Because we did see in the trailer that it's opening some sort of portal, right? That's what they're doing to go into the Shadowlands.
Yeah, it looks like she's like opening the Shadowlands through Courtney.
Right. So the staff, we don't know much about the staff, honestly. We do know that its power is from light and it does have sentience, but we don't really know much else about it. So maybe Eclipso knows something about the staff that we don't know, which wouldn't surprise me at all. But it seems like he needs her for that reason. That's what the story is leading us to. So Ben, I sent you a link, but we're almost done. So I don't know if it's even, unless you want to jump in or not.
Well, how long would you have to go anywhere after this?
What do you mean?
Do you have work?
Yeah, it's a Friday night.
Oh, Friday night. Oh no, that's Saturday night.
Yeah. Space Fluff. Yeah, let's talk about the Pat thing. That was unexpected. Pat's interaction with Rick's uncle. Like, at first it was typical Pat going in there and trying to talk him down and get him to forgive Rick and everything. And then it got really dark. Any thoughts on that at all? Because I wasn't expecting that, honestly.
Well, it was almost like edgy. It was edgy Pat. We were used to edgy Eric.
Yeah.
Good. Edgy Pat.
But he was talking about in the military and doing things that he regretted and all this other stuff. And I'm like, this is pretty dark, right?
Yeah. And I like how they left it a bit ambiguous. Like, we can decide what he did.
Yeah.
I saw people complaining about that, and I thought, like, yeah, like I was like, yeah, it would have been good to maybe see that. But then after that, I was thinking, oh wait, well maybe that was the whole point. Like they left it a bit ambiguous to make you sort of, you finish the story, you connect the dots, and you
Right.
can imagine what Pat did. Because I don't think Pat would have tortured a guy that had already been beaten to hell by our man.
Yeah.
So maybe just twisted a couple of his toes or something like that.
Steve Harper, I guess, who wrote the episode, responded on Twitter, and he said he literally twisted his arm. I mean, that's still ambiguous, right? Because that's a turn of phrase, saying that somebody's arm was twisted. So
yeah. So that could have been, he could have pulled a couple of teeth and said he twisted his arm.
Yeah, I feel that way about it. Let's see, Victor here. We will have the same team in Stargirl next season. Or have you changes? Anybody not coming back? I haven't heard any news about anyone leaving the show, but we won't know if they're coming back until they renew for next season. So I would assume that all the core characters are coming back.
Well, they've started filming.
Right, but I haven't heard anything about anybody quitting, is what I'm saying. I'm assuming everyone is going to come back to the show, right? There's been no releases of anybody leaving.
No, well, they wouldn't say until a finale in case there's a death or something, but
right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I would assume that the core team will be back unless someone has a story wrap up, and I don't think any of the characters are close to having their stories wrapped up. Like, I feel like everyone still has more story to tell. Infotech's here. Do you think anybody will die this season? We've already lost a couple people.
The only person I can think of is Cindy, and even then, for some reason I just don't think she'll die. But she might, but I don't think she will.
Cindy is sort of like a fan favorite, like Alice is over on Batwoman. So I don't know if they want to get rid of her. So I don't know. Not sure. Anything else from this episode you want to talk about before we wrap it up? That's pretty much it, right? There wasn't. We could talk about the Cindy stuff about her being creepy with Yolanda, but I mean, I think that kind of goes along with Cindy. Like, it wasn't out of the ordinary for her to act that way.
Yeah, well, I thought that was a good scene. Just sort of played.
Yeah,
Yolanda played right into Cindy's hands.
We could talk about the stuff with Beth and Dr. Midnight, but really it's just him sort of being a mentor for her. So that was kind of cool. Who did Cindy call? That's what a lot of people seem to be worried about, that mystery. I don't think it's going to be a big mystery. I think it'll.
Well, I thought it was Artemis, but apparently someone was saying that like there was like multiple people.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to be someone we haven't seen yet. I think it's just going to be someone that we already know. I don't think it's going to be like, I don't think we're going to have somebody show up and we're going to be like, who is this person?
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I'd say. It'd be interesting.
I feel like Artemis and basically anyone that she's spoken to this season is fair game for that. Yeah, it says you all have to come back, but I mean, I don't think they're going to introduce anyone new. So I'm not expecting, that's not a big mystery to me, because I'm guessing it's going to be Artemis or her parents or something like that. I just don't see, I don't know who else it could be. Yeah, she called Grundy on the phone.
Grundy.
I'm just saying, I'm sorry, Rio. I don't mean to sound sarcastic there, but Grundy's, I don't think Grundy has a cell phone.
That'd be funny.
That would be funny.
There's a scene and Grundy he's just got a little phone.
Yeah. It's like
little
this
phone, and he's like
hello Grundy.
Oh,
food.
I actually hope that's in the episode now.
Yeah. I don't know, Rio. That was funny, actually. I don't know if you intended for it to be funny, but that was funny. She's gonna text him. He's gonna be trying to text on this little.
Yeah,
phone.
he's like, oh, he's just, and the person's just getting like Cindy's getting text back, and it's just a mumble. It's just like
it's all X's and O's and B's.
it's like ZZXX.
Yeah. It's too funny.
Oh,
I'm gonna assume it's someone we've already seen is who she ended up calling. So that's the way I would do it. Way I would feel like it would go. That's pretty much it, though. I mean, this really was a setup for the finale. I think we're gonna get a really strong finale for Stargirl. I think it's been a really good season, and I think a lot of people were saying that it wasn't doing much, but I don't necessarily feel the same way. I think it's meant to be a horror-driven season, and I think they've achieved that. In my opinion, I think they've done everything that they need. Like, this is some of the best TV that we've had from superheroes, to be honest. I mean, it's a very well done series.
Well, you know
It's
why?
not as exciting as some of the bigger shows, but it's really well done.
Well, you know why? Because it's still entertaining. It's still got action and like, you know, through that horror stuff in there. And Stargirl's worn her suit like 3 times.
Yeah, but you don't think about that.
You don't think about it. You think about it if you like, I guess, like as I
If
said,
you're
like
bored.
negative Nancy, yeah.
Yeah, if you're bored with an
you're
episode,
on the
you're going to
list.
notice it. That's what happened with me and Legends. I was bored with the show, so I noticed they weren't using their powers like most of the season. Like, Stargirl's staff hasn't worked for like 5 episodes.
Yeah.
So there we go. Yes, the After Party, the 4.0 series of the After Party, which will continue through like the rest of the like. I basically started it right before the Flash because of the fact that we have, you know, the Batwoman, Legends, all of that is on a Wednesday. So I wanted to give people that and an additional day to watch any of the other streaming shows. And also it benefits us with breaking news because the news from the Flash that wasn't totally brand new, but the stuff from Superman and Lois, all of that came out at the very end of the day today, and we were able to cover it in the After Party. So I think it works better on a Friday. So we'll see where it goes. I still have a love for Legends. That's the thing, guys. Like, I say this all the time. I don't hate the shows. If I'm not enjoying them, I will stop watching them. It takes a lot to make me end up hating something. And that's what happened with Inhumans. Inhumans, I had to watch the whole season after like 2 episodes. I was bored with it.
Good old Inhumans.
That was
favorite
awful.
show.
And my reviews for that are painful. If you go back and you watch them, I was hating that series. It was bad. Cody says, what's up with people calling this filler? I feel like season 2 is a bridge season. I think they're calling it filler because they don't see this story as a very compelling story. But I actually like that it's a more dialed back story, because what happens with shows a lot of times is you go season 1 big story, season 2 bigger story, season 3 bigger story, and you can't ever compete with that. So I don't mind a season where it's more personal. This is a very personal villain. Yes, Eclipso is super powerful, but it's very personal to the characters. So Spooner and Astra actually asked what Sarah was wearing when she was wearing her canary suit. That's meta. Can I say that anymore now that Facebook has that? Is there?
Now you got to say that's Facebook.
That's Facebook now, I guess. Anyway, we're gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna give like a 5-minute warning so I can start getting ready for work. But we'll go a little bit longer. There's always an option for 2 hours if there's more to talk about, but I think we've covered everything.
Well, I was gonna say, if Ben came, we could have done a quiz because I have a quiz ready, but Ben's not here. So
yeah, he
RIP
left.
the dream.
I even told him, I said, come into the chat if you want.
Yeah,
But
RIP the dream.
Yeah.
By the way, did you hear about the ham sandwich that walked into a bar and ordered a beer?
Oh, geez, here we go.
Yeah,
No,
the bartender was really rude and said, "Sorry, we don't serve food here."
Yeah. So did I talk about Legends, Rio? I'm not just going to ignore that joke. Did you talk about Legends? I haven't seen it yet because I'm not caught up with the show. So by next week, I will start including my thoughts on Legends. I see a lot of people love it or whatever. I'll give it a shot, but I'm not making any promises. I will not be reviewing it. So here's the deal. If you want to hear my thoughts on Legends, you have to come here on Fridays. I'm not going to be putting out Legend videos. So
Eric is putting his foot in the ground.
yeah, I'm not doing Legends videos.
By the way, there was this time, like, it was a bit weird, maybe like a year and a half ago, roughly. I met an axe murderer, and to this day, I still have no idea what he had against axes.
Oh my gosh. So Introverted, I guess you missed when I talked about that. It's hard for me to do a live reaction on something that has commercials. So I don't know how I would do that because there would be different commercials for everybody. So if I tried to time it out, it would be off time with people. So there we go.
Did you read the study that came out? I think it was about I think it was last Wednesday.
Mm-mm.
It was a study on why people with foot fetishes like to lose, and it was because they love defeat.
Oh my gosh. I'm not even. My dinner will be here in 5 minutes. I just got an alert. There we go. I'm actually having pizza tonight. So there we go.
I feel like pizza tonight. Like
Oh,
pizza
now
tonight.
Ben shows up. My food is going to be here in 5 minutes, and now Ben is here.
Well, you can
I
go
was
get the
here for
food.
like 5 minutes, Eric.
Oh, why didn't you didn't post anything? I guess the private chat says something now.
Oh,
That was 1 minute
It
ago.
was like a
1
minute.
minute. Okay,
1
1 minute
minute.
is now 5 minutes apparently.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, we were like, look, I talked about Supergirl earlier, and I was like, I wanted Ben to be here when I talked about Supergirl. So
Sorry.
it's okay. It's all good. Latin Shark with $2 super chat. So what did you watch this week? I mean, I've watched everything but Legends. Young Justice, Doom Patrol, Stargirl, Supergirl, Batwoman. I mean, everything except for Legends of Tomorrow. What about you guys? What have you watched this week?
Eric?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've just come across a really, really fascinating item. I found
What?
the Pink Panthers to-do list. Do you want me to read it out?
The Pink Panthers to do.
What is that?
Do you want me to read it out?
Go ahead.
To do.
No one is going to get that joke because they're too young. That is an old person's joke. Yeah, exactly. Look, Canagress has been letting everyone down as usual. Wow. What to say about that? So, Ben, you've only watched Supergirl this week?
Yep, only Supergirl. But I did like it. I know you won't like it.
Well,
I
no,
didn't watch it, so I don't know.
it's not that I disliked it more than I have. I mean, I feel the same about it that I felt about every episode this season. I think it's too formulaic. Like, it's just too many things that feel the same. It's like they're repeating. And the funny thing was, I think it was last week's episode at the end, Supergirl goes, I feel like we're doing the same thing every week. And I'm like, I mean, you are doing the same thing every week. So that was kind of funny.
As they say, top tier joke, Eric.
Oh,
I have some crazy news.
Oh no!
It's just come out on Twitter. It's not Danielle Panabaker leaving the Flash, but they've just announced what pronouns chocolate bars prefer.
Okay,
Her, she.
That's actually clever. Honestly, that's pretty clever. It's a dad joke for sure, but it's at least clever. I was waiting for it to be like super offensive, but it was actually pretty clever.
No, that's for the DC TV show streams.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So Ben, since you're just arriving, do you have any intention on watching any other shows this season, or is it just going to be Supergirl?
I intend on watching The Flash.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Did you see Did you see the news about the first episode?
The synopsis?
Yeah. Did you see that?
I didn't read it, but I saw it on pages.
Okay. It's not too much, but I just wanted to make sure you were keeping up with the news because you're too busy now. You got too many things going on. It's all these flexes and things that are happening. By the way, this is his new place. If you guys can't tell.
Actually, this is my parents' place. It's not.
Oh, wait. So you're not at your place now?
No,
you just moved in somewhere and you're not there
for a day. Yeah. So, I mean, it's a birthday weekend. So,
well, your parents have a nice place. I mean, that's obviously a nice room. Was that your room when you were growing up?
No, it's my brother's room. It's not mine.
Oh, wait. Do you believe that, Paigey? I mean, that's really done.
Look what's on the wall, Paigey.
Awesome. Is that Burn Leno?
Yeah, it is.
What is that hole in the wall? Is that a mirror?
It's a mirror, I think.
That's a clock.
Oh,
a clock with no face on it.
I guess it's dark and I can't see the hands.
I still don't see it. What is it made for?
I can slightly see the hands.
Is it made for people with telescopic eyes? I mean, what the?
Yeah, I guess so. It's wood with white numbers.
Okay. There we go. So they made it incredibly hard to see. Like they're like, we're just going to make this clock for the wall that's very hard to read.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Wait, hold on. Canadagrass says, look at Ben's bald spot.
Where?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think he's talking about your face. I think
Well,
he's talking about your
mhm.
face.
Extremely bold.
Did you hear about the controversy?
Oh gosh, is
What controversy?
So Bono and The Edge walked into a bar, and the bartender just looked at it and went, "Oh, seriously, God, you two again?"
I'm not reacting to any of these. I'm just gonna go with the flow. Go with the flow. So I did get some new caftans today.
Some new
Sorry,
what?
it's a caftan.
Caftans.
What's a
Yeah.
caftan?
You don't have those?
No. What is that?
What are caftans?
They're like
No.
big, oversized, like lounge shirts. You don't have those over there?
No,
No.
don't they call them a muumuu?
No. They're different. Muumuus are just big t-shirts. These are like cut a certain way. They're made a certain way.
I've never heard of a caftan.
And what is it? Does it have pages
It's like-
in it?
No, it's like, okay, so
I
hold
mean,
on.
good t-shirt. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like resort wear. Like let me see if I can find a picture of it. Okay, here is one right here.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
Actually, here we go. These are caftans.
What, the flash lightning bolt? Oh my
That's a
god.
poncho.
That's big.
Yeah, they're like big, oversized resort wear.
That's
things.
what Clint Eastwood wears in Fistful of Dollars and shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're dressing up as a cowboy. That's what you're saying, Eric.
No,
Yeah.
they're to wear around the house. They're not. I don't wear them out anywhere. It's like I do housework in these.
That's pretty
It's-
cool.
I would personally just walk around in my underwear. But
Should I take a picture of me wearing mine and then post it on Instagram? or
well, I don't
something?
know. I'd call that a muumuu from that Simpsons episode.
I actually can't believe that you don't have these
No.
in Australia or in England.
The closest thing I can think of that someone would wear is a sarong in Australia. Like that's about it. And they probably got that sarong from Bali. That's when they probably bought it from Bali and brought it over
What?
and wear that. I've never seen anyone wear something like that.
Yeah,
Except
I've never
on, like-
seen that in real life.
Yeah, except I'd call it like a design of.
I will say this: most people that are in the chat that are giving me shit about this are going to go online and order one.
No, they
guarantee
won't.
it. They
Trust me,
will.
just walk around in your underwear.
They
as long
will.
as-
They will go and order them. I can and when you guys do, send a picture on social media and say, "Look, I talk shit about it, and then I ordered one." It's just like Crocs. Everybody hates them until they have their own, and they're like, "Oh, I
What?
love
So
them."
you're just gonna go around and like wear it all the time? Is it like a sleeping thing or? Is
Yeah,
it-
yeah. It's like it's like to
Freaking
wear.
cool.
I get it to wear in the house, but it's considered resort wear. Like people can wear it over their swimsuits or something like that. Like if you're out at a pool and you get out of the pool and you dry off, you can put that on until you decide to get back in the pool again. That's what they're
So
kind
you're
of
just
for.
like butt ass naked. And...
I think they buy.
No,
they
you have your
sell-
swimsuit on underneath of it. Like what are you?
Yeah, they
what
sell
are you
these.
thinking
so
about?
Eric, they sell these things. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're called towels.
Yeah, but towels are awkward to wear around a pool. Like those are
Towels
easy to
are-
put on.
No, you can buy poncho towels. Little kids wear them. I mean,
So what's the difference in a poncho and these other than the name? If you're
Well,
like if you
'cause-
think ponchos are acceptable, but these aren't, and they're the same thing.
I didn't say they were acceptable because I said kids wear them, like little kids when they eat ice cream next to the pool, and then they like vomit in the pool or some crap like that because they went swimming too
What
early.
pools are you going to where kids are vomiting in the pool? Like, I don't
Well,
know.
obviously
Australian pools.
the ones that tourists go to, obviously, which is pretty much all of them here. But I'll tell you what, I was just walking down the street, and I stopped, and this guy was waiting for the bus. And he looked
Here
at
we
me and
go.
went, he goes, "Hold on, can I have a bookmark?" And I thought it was random, so I burst just into laughing. And I went, "My name's not Mark."
Where'd you get all of these this week?
All right. With that being said, we're out of here. We'll see you next week. Have a good night. Ben will be here early maybe next week. I don't know what his plans are on a Friday night, but
Yes.
anyway, we'll be out of here. We'll see you later. Take care.
Okay.